Alrighty guys, if you are new to eFootball 2024 or been absent for a while, you want to catch up on what you've missed out or what is new, this video is for you. Now in my opinion, if you just picked up eFootball 2024, the first thing in my opinion you should do, controller setting, right here, controller, configure, click, boom. First thing you want to do, change your cursor semi-assisted. Player name if you want a name on top of the player's head. Always player oriented. Pass level, 1 is the highest assist, 3 is the lowest assist, 4 is manual. Go 1 is usually good for short distance passing. 3, more freedom if you like to play wide. 2, kind of in between. I prefer 2 person. That, you can have a read at this whatever you prefer based on your controller setting. Whether you have a default controller setting or kind of PES layout. In terms of the sharp touch, I like pressing it twice. These are optional, whether you have the circle guide on. I think if you're new, just in my opinion, if you're new to the game, have all these settings, copy them exactly, and then you know what they stands for. I have 3 separate videos explaining in-depth details about the control. And of course, I have many videos right here. If you go to my channel, check out this playlist right here. Most of these videos are simply for PES 2023. But all these videos right here are related to everything that we talk. First of all, understanding the meta. Number 2, skill trainers, how to take a shortcut. Part 1 and part 2 in terms of the best formation. Simple guide, how to defend it, when you should match up, when you should press, etc. Best skills in the game. Manual goalkeeping, an absolute must learn. Player status, this particular video. Basically explaining player status. If you understand player status, if you understand player status, player ability, combined with player skills, then it's a universal information that teaches you how to train your players. Because a lot of times can be complicated. You gotta calculate everything. The manager boost, the position you use him. I would train, for example, I would train Messi very differently if I use him as a second striker, as a winger, or as an attacking midfielder. More passing as an AMF, more precision as a striker, and so on. That's a separate video we talk about. The anti-meta, for instance, and these are separate controller settings. You might want to check them out. Sub-tactic, player tactics in generally has explained. All these are still related. They're PES 2022-23 videos, but they're exactly the same. So I recommend you checking out that playlist as well. You will learn a lot from it. But once you get your controller settings, in my opinion, the best way if you really want to make a proper effort in this game, first of all, try to do everything that gives you free G without spending a dime. And I think most of the time, if you just started, I don't think there's anything wrong. If you don't have a lot of time, you can spend a tenner maybe to get you started up so you can play some of the events, play against AI, train. Because in my opinion, the first thing to do, get an okay team and try to beat AI on the most difficult, and then jump online. Maybe just try to beat AI for a week or 2, be patient, and then jump online if you want to start good. Unless you are experienced enough, you don't need all that. Match pass is always useful. A lot of times it kind of cost you about 500 and 600, I believe. But throughout the whole match pass, you will get 500 coins back, I believe. So it's kind of a half thing, especially if you want to take a shortcut when you have less time. Ideally, I think if you just started on eFootball 24, it will take a while because you missed out on a lot of free stuff. For a free game, you get free epics, free legend, free player of the week, free everything. Yeah. So if you started on eFootball 24, you probably missed out on a lot of free stuff. And the second thing, of course, I mean, the user interface is very simple and straight away. When it comes to matches right here, first thing you want to do once you gather up your team, play the events. There are events against AI, there are events against the online, against other users. You want to try to play every single thing that gives you free GP and free. And then, of course, after that, you may want to try practice it with your friends. In terms of players, of course, every Thursday you get legend packs, every Monday you get feature players, every Thursday you get player of the week, and then you have nominating contract players, which they are free. You play more games, you take challenge, you unlock challenges, which are very easy. You get nominating contract from 1 star, from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 star. At the moment, I got 2 5-star, for instance. You can buy a match pass if you want to save yourself some time. If you don't regularly want to buy coins, some of these players are pretty effective. Like Danilo's pretty effective. This is not the best nominating contract, I would say, but it's very important to play first to understand the game's mechanics in a way. And then you want to jump into formation and tactic. In my opinion, you can never go wrong just starting with 4-2-1-3 in a way. And in terms of tactic, when I say 4-2-1-3, like just a basic 4-2-1-3. Or not a fan of 4-4-2. If you play 4-4-2, you got to switch the flanks into AMF. Then it would be useful. And then you got a DMF here. Probably maybe defense on one fullback or tuck him and make him CB. Depending on what type of players you have in a way. Otherwise, you can never go wrong with this. Really, this formation is very strong. If you don't have fast defenders, choose long ball counter. If you like to play quick passing, aggressive, go quick counter. Position, kind of difficult in a way. It's like working overtime without getting paid. Avoid those two. They're not coded right. So again, in my opinion, these are the absolute basics that when you start the game, and everything else is really, the user interface is not that complicated. You click on your team, you got your managers, you got your players. You can, lock them, unlock them, release them. If you release, apart from 5-star standard card with GP, if you release any special cards, you get GP, of course, when they are trained, and you get 10 contracts. When player contract runs out, you simply just apply. You click on it here. Now you ask contract renewal, which kind of expensive. Like at the moment, I do have a lot of player contracts. Like I have 100 and I have 435 10 contracts. You can only give any player like 60 contracts basically. And all these contracts are really, these are kind of high value player burns in a way, if you know what I mean. So yes, you can renew player contract, but they do not come cheap in a way. So there are many other things, but the important thing, you control setting, understanding the game, and then everything else just kind of is like a puzzle, all adds up. I have in that playlist, as I explained, I have videos explaining every single thing in terms of your tactic, your formation. If you have any questions, comment down below, ask me on Twitter, join the live stream. This was more of just a quick guide to work your way around it. The reason why I'm not going through every single thing in detail, because I already have videos for it, and I don't like to spam videos that are the same thing just for the sake of a different title. Also, I recommend checking this one out, general information. Understand how certain things work, especially when it comes to playing style in a way. Or player skill, player status, right here. Explain what ball controllers, what attacking awareness. In a video, I explained it. Player skill, what each skill, what they stands for, what they're good for. For example, most skills, fighting spirit, one-touch pass, through passing. All these, since you have skill trainers. So most of these stuff, it's good to have a look at it and then understanding each thing, because it will come handy when it comes to training your players, for example. In terms of managers, in my opinion, probably when you just started, you don't have a lot of GP. But eventually, you might want to sign the highest possible rated manager. If you want 2+ on your player's overall ability, then you got to sign a highest rated manager. For position, Luis Roman, Pep Guardiola. For quick counter, Zistler, Jurgen Klopp. For long ball counter, Cristobal Buena. That's Diego Simeone. So the manager doesn't go beyond those two. And then third option, position, which most people don't play. Tuchel for out wide. Nelson, if you like to play the long ball tactic in a way. Each manager have 5 proficiencies. The higher the proficiency, the more it has to be basically, the proficiency has to be close to 85 at the moment. I'm still trying to test it out. It cannot be below 85. Maybe 84 works. Maybe 83 works. I'm not sure. But the safer way is to gather up a lot of GP to get Cristobal Bueno if you play long ball counter, or Zither if you want 2+ bonus on player ability. But for now, you're fine. Like you can sign any manager as long as the manager's proficiency does not go below 70. You're fine. Like if you sign Tibaldi, if you play quick counter, he's got 80 in quick counter. Probably you will not get 1 or 2+ on your player's overall ability, but your players does not drop their ability. Like if you have a player who is 80 rated, he's going to stay 80 rated. He's not going to be 82. But if you have a player who's 80 rated and you have this manager, but you switch your tactic to, let's say, long ball counter, which the proficiency is 54, your 80 rated player will drop his overall rating to like 60 something. So as long as it doesn't go below the orange tier of playing proficiency. At the start, yeah, you may want to go for a little bit of a cheaper manager. You can get managers for like way cheap anyway. Plus you get but anyway, dudes, I will have more videos, quick, short, straight to the point, individually covering everything from updated new player training, manager relation with your players, controller settings in more detailed video. Every single thing I will cover them in a short, fast, in a short videos that is I'll be covering everything from beginner all the way to professional level to improve. I personally test everything live in Division 1 ranked matches. This is the best way for me to understand everything in a way. So we'll have videos going into details about everything from tactic formation to player training to different formations, covering every single thing, of course, gameplay as well. Hope you find the video useful. Drop a like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.